Hi everyone! Welcome back to another Animating 101 Season 2, Lesson 2. In the last lesson we learned about animating or animation and what keyframes were, but in today's lesson we're going to be learning about timing and spacing. But before we get onto that, let's catch up with the chat. Hi Annika! Hi Penny! Hi Gareth! Uma! Hi, RB. Let me move this up a little bit so I can see a little bit more. Josie! Wade, how was your stream? I hope it went well. I missed the first one. You have to go back and watch that, said Stony. Please do. Please do. That way, as all of the lessons are kind of linked to each other, this way you'll be able to take your foundation knowledge to the next one and on to the next one and on to the next one. I hope you lot are doing well today, and I hope you're excited to learn more with more fun mini games. But before we get on to mini game talk, we've got a few whats to get down. Oh, Mohammed! Hello, lovely. Welcome. It was great. Yes! Wade always teaches amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. But what's what number one? Well, what is timing? Timing is how long something takes. So for instance, does it take Miss Bezier 2 seconds to cross the screen? Or does it take her 5 seconds to cross the stream? And on top of that, in those 5 seconds, when does she jump? Okay, seems pretty simplistic when we put it that way, doesn't it? Welcome, Derek. Clever Devlin said motion. Shake it, shake it. Wave stream was spectacular. Yes! I mean, it always is. Welcome, A Flowers. Okay, so we understand the timing half. But what's what number two? What is spacing? Thanks Storm and Mama Crocodile for this. Spacing is how animation flows from one pose to another. So for instance, does it move fast? Does it move slow? Does it speed up? Or does it slow down? Now the after images are what standard animators would see if they're doing it via frames, but that's not what we see in After Effects. We're going to use the graph editor. So for us to make it speed up, we just move the frames closer together. To make it move slow, we just move the frames further apart. To make it speed up, we have a long line first and curve it to be short. And for it to slow down, we curve a short line first and make the second one long. So that's technically our key chart for doing what we need to do in After Effects, but you'll find your groove with it as we get further in. Hello, Alana Flowers. Hello, lovely. Happy to be tuning in. Thank you so much for coming. You're determined to learn this program? Yes! Don't forget to check out lesson 1 so you have your little foundations in place. We got this. We can do this, Tara. We got this. We got all of the things. All of the things. But we now know what timing is and we know what spacing is. But I guess the third what is, what mini games are we going to be using to learn this? Well, we've got Maze Magnets, The Proposal, Push, and Seesaw, and lastly, Samurai. I need to work on this and UI UX. Oh, Stoney, you're in the right place. Now, before we get too far ahead, you can download these files, these mini games, so you can work alongside me, or if you're watching this as a rerun, you'll be able to download the files and pause whenever you need to. Oh yeah, Alana, we're all about mini games. Learning should be fun. Stoney said, I love your energy, Pixie. Oh, you're too kind. We'll have a link down below in the chat so you can download these files. If you didn't get a chance to download the first lesson files, don't worry, they're actually secretly within the second lesson files too. If we can't find the files, let me know and I will add them. Otherwise, shall we get moving? Hold on. Shall we? Hold on. I'm looking for the link first. Wait, do we have? Just so you lot are ready to start with me. We do! Yay! Thanks, Wade! The link's down there. I'm waiting for a second so you have a chance to download it. Steve said, so much fun! Yay! Oh, before I begin, are there any questions? This is still the waiting period, so you can download your files, open what you need to do. If not, shall we look at number 1? Number 1, maze magnets. Mr. Keyframe can't move on his own right now. But whenever the magnets turns on, he gets dragged over to them. So we're going to have to make sure that he drags over to the magnets when they turn on. Now, I know we were talking about timing before. I've actually given you timing for this one. So when you open your file and you click on minigame 1, you'll notice that there are pink bars. Those pink bars indicate when the magnets turn on. So if we drag our indicator, we can see when it happens. And that means we have a timing for when he's supposed to be on it. All right, so we know about position. If your position isn't already open, make sure you click on Mr. Keyframe Move Me and press P for position. Mr. Keyframe's back, oh yeah! So P for position. We're going with something that we learned the last time. We're gonna put the keyframe down. Let's turn on the stopwatch. It doesn't really matter where you put the first one. We can move it later, considering that I've just put mine there. So I'm gonna click and drag mine over here. You don't need to stick your keyframe at the start. Try to put it more where you want the animation to begin. Alrighty. It's a RAR file. Oh, have you got something that can open a RAR file? If you don't, please find an unzipper. Please find an unzipper, because there are 2 files in there. One is the image files for Mr. Keyframe and the gang. The other is the actual work. Your file's working? Oh, yes. There we go. Stoney's ready. Yes. Okay. So we stuck our first keyframe down, and our second keyframe, we need Mr. Keyframe to be up at the thing. So the blue numbers on the right are the ones that go up and down. So we're going to click and drag and move them to the top. Now, if we just press play here, so that's clicking the space bar. Yes, thank you, RB. That's right. So if we push the space bar now, we'll see Mr. Keyframe just go straight up to it, but doesn't look very interesting, does it? We can change this, and here comes the fun part, the graph editor. So kind of we're learning 3 things, but don't worry, we got this. Welcome, Michelle. If you want to join in, download the minigame files from the chat. All right, I'm going to click the first keyframe. You don't have to click the first keyframe, force of habit. What we're going to do is go to the graph editor, but before we move to the graph editor, I'm gonna need a little bit more control, but should I show you what it looks like first? Maybe I should. Let's click on the graph editor. You'll see what I mean later. Okay, so the red line is X. If you're not sure what X is, X goes left and right. So if we move it, it's gonna move where he is, in the sideways plane. The green one is up and down. That's what we just did. That's why it's on a slope. Now, what we want to do is control this line to do that key that we did earlier in the what's number 2. But the only problem is when we click our break tangent, that's the easy ease out for this side, it does something, which is great. So I'm going to press play. But the only problem is I can't control how far or how long it takes. So for us to have more control, what we're going to do is right click on position, and you'll find something that says separate dimensions. So we're going to separate the dimensions. There we go. Now we've got the X and the Y in a separate place. Our Y's got a bit of action going on here, but that's okay. We're going to change it up in a hot second. I'm zooming in by holding the Alt key and middle mouse rolling. Okay, I'll just watch now and play later. Okay, Stody. So what I'm going to do is click the first keyframe. You can either tap it or click and drag. Click and dragging means I don't need to be too perfect where I click, but it's up to you. Now, when you click on your keyframe, you might notice that you've got these little toggles or these tangents or these, what do you call these? These levers, which is wonderful. That is exactly what we want. But if it doesn't look like that already, we can help it along by clicking on easy ease out. I keep saying break tangent. It's a force of habit. All separate dimensions. Oh yeah, separate dimensions all day, every day. We're going to go ahead and click that. Welcome, Spontaneous. So now it's given us a little bit of a curve. Now we know that if we click the lever, click and drag it, we know that if the line is long, it moves slowly. And if the line is short, and if we get a little bit closer between the last keyframe, to get to the end frame, it's really short. Short means fast, long means slow. So because this side is longer, it's going to move slower until we hit the curve. So if I press the space bar now, Mr. Keyframe moves up a little bit and then looks like he slaps the roof, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want. So now we've got a, what is it? An acceleration. We've got a slow down to speed. Cool. Pretty simple, huh? Now we're gonna have to do the same to X. Yes, graph editor, love-hate relationship. Don't worry, we'll make it all love today. So we need the X now because only X goes left and right. So red X, green Y. Rob said, Pixie Wade, all the beautiful people, you too kind. Oh. Alrighty, but if we can't see the X position, all we have to do is click on it and then it shows us. But the only problem is I'm going to have to slide back and forth to try to work out when it is. We don't need to do it that way. We have a little bit more control. Let's click off the graph editor because remember, I've made those little pink layers for you and that lets you know when the magnet turns on. So I'm just going to move my indicator over a little bit. And I'm going to set another keyframe down. Now you totally can, from the last lesson we learned about toggle holds to prevent Mr. Keyframe from moving when we want to duplicate something. We can totally do that and bring it over. There's no wrong answer. If the animation doesn't look the way we want it to, then that's not the ho-ho. But if it looks right, no matter how you've done it, it's good. It's only the end result that matters, so don't worry too much. Alana said this graph editor has so much power. You've never opened it? Oh yeah. There's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff going on in it. X, Y, Z, that's right. Yes. All right, so for us to make another keyframe, because we know the magnet turns on here, we could do linear. That's a straight line. Okay, are we ready to continue? Good. We're going to drag the indicator over, get it to the end of the magnet, and we're gonna move. Oh no, come back. Come back. Wait, Stony. Stony, where did I lose you? I'll wait. Let me get some water. I'm always happy to wait. Yeah, you think we're okay? Are we good? Is everything okay? What happened? What happened? What happened? Are we okay? I'm just gonna check the chat to make sure that we're all good. Is the stream there? Okay, all good here now. Okay, woo! What part didn't you guys hear? I don't think I moved on, so don't worry. I didn't move. As soon as Stony said something, we're good. Some buffering, but we're fine now. Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry. Like I turned off everything that could possibly be downloading. If it disappears again, tell me and I'll wait. I don't want you to miss anything. It's the hostess with the mostest. My big sister is here. Yay. Okay, thank you. Okay, we're ready. Right, so just in case you missed the first half, we've moved the indicator to the first pink block because that's when the magnet's about to turn on. Then we go to the left, locate Mr. Keyframe's relatives, and we click on those. So that's made a new keyframe for us. Don't worry about the shape that's in the middle there, because we're going to edit it in the graph editor anyway. Now all we have to do is drag the indicator to the end, because that's when the movement stops. And we could totally chuck another keyframe down. I think I'm going to. You can have less keyframes, you can have more keyframes, but it's the end result that we're after right now. So I'm going to click for X and Y, even though we're only moving X. So which magnet moves? It's that one on the left. So let me go back and move the X position by clicking and dragging. So now if we press play, Mr. Keyframe slowly smooths in and smooths out towards that, but that's not what we want. We want him to wait for a little bit and then snap to the other end. So we're going to go back to the graph editor. Let's click the first keyframe that we made of the second block, go back to the graph editor, and if we take a look in, because this line is so even, it's doing a smooth in and a smooth out. But how do we make it move slow first and fast? Long is slow, short is fast. So I want the first half to be slow. So I'm going to click my break tangent, aka easy ease out. I'm going to click and drag on that handle, and long is slow. You can hold shift to stop After Effects from changing the position. If you're not sure what that means, if your position is too high, your character might move back a little first or move forward a little first. So try to keep the line on the same plane unless that's an effect you're going for. Alrighty, so I've dragged it as far to the right as I can. And if we take a look at this a little closer, means it's gonna move slow first and then fast at the end, but we could probably make this faster. Now, if you found, okay, that's nice, I like that, but I want it snappier. How do we make it snappier? By making it shorter at the end. So let's click and drag our end frame. We're going to click the easy ease in tangent this time. And now we can turn this one up. Before it was down here, which meant that it had a tiny bit of time to smooth into its next point. We don't really want that. We want it to snap right there. So I'm going to click and move this over. So now there's less time for it to get there, which would make it snap. So let's take a look and see if we like this. Ooh, it's like, we got the suction cup thingy going. I love it. If you want to tweak this more or less, you absolutely can. Have fun with it. But now we know exactly what to do for the rest of these. So let's go back to the graph editor. Take a look at the front of the third pink bit. And Mr. Keyframe's being pulled down again. Zap to the magnet, just boop, boop. What's our relationship like? It's magnetic. So he's going down. So we need it on the Y. Now we could totally only do the keyframe on the Y. The only reason why I'm adding so many in, I'm going to select them both and go back to the graph editor, is because sometimes I might forget when I want it to hold or when I don't want it to hold. But by doing a keyframe on both, I know that the X won't move till I want it to because it's staying still. So you might not like doing it that way, and that's totally cool. Remember, the end result is the only thing that matters. All right, so let's go back to the front. I'm gonna pop my keyframes down. If you select both X and Y and then click the keyframe, it will do the keyframe for both. All right, let's go to the last half. We know what to do. Up and down is Y. Let's drag it down. Okay, let's slide back into the graph editor. Let's select our lower one because that's the first keyframe we see. Let's break that tangent. I'm going to do up to both of them actually. That way I can mess around with them straight away. So we know long is slow. So let me make this long. There we go. I was putting it the other direction, but if we do it that way, that's short. Short is fast. That's not what we want. He's not floating down. It's not the kind of situation. So we want long. Long is slow. There we go. And let me make sure that this one can go short. So I'm just going to pull this tangent down a bit, make it shorter, take a look, and pop. Nice. We could probably make it even snappier maybe. To do that, I'm going to grab the last keyframe and drag it up even more. That's forcing the long line to stay longer. Nice. PJ, I hope you're doing well, lovely. Ooh. If there was a sound effect for that. Amazing. I might want the hold a bit less, so I'm just going to hold shift and drag it a bit more. So as you're doing this, you're gaining a feel for the movement. So this is just something that you see. It's not really something that, it's something that you learn via real life. So keep an eye every time you're outside or you're doing something, just keep an eye on it. Does it move fast first or slow? Does it move slow first or fast? It will really help. Okay, there we go. We got the snap. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to continue. You know exactly what's going to happen. Snap to the next one. Keyframes down. X over to the mark. Graph editor on. Selecting them both this time. There we go, making sure they're ready. Working and lurking. The friendly voice is calming. Oh! Minus when I squeal, I'm sure. I hope you're having a great day of work. So we want it slow. Then we want it to snap. Slow snap. Nice. Maybe maybe a bit more of a snap. Don't hold shift when you're making it go up. And rinse and repeat. We got a few to cover. So let's get this one done and dusted. We need to go up. That's not up. There we go. Okay. Sticking another keyframe down for the X. And this was Y that's happening now. So let's make sure our tangents are ready to be morphed. I want this to move slow. I want that bit to move fast. Lovely. I know I'm not checking it, but we know the look of slow and fast in the graph editor now. So technically we don't need to check it quite yet. We can check it if we'd like to, but we know what roughly it's going to do. Thank you, Storm. My sissy giving me all the hypes. So as I've started to get more comfortable in the workspace, I went and used shortcuts immediately. So I know I told you can go over to the left and click the keyframe, but to speed up your workflow, you can absolutely select both of the keyframes at the front with Control and C for copy, and then hold Control and V. If you're having trouble getting your indicator to the right place, by the way, hold Shift and that will snap to the next layers. It's Tangent Morphing Time. Tangent! What a great day of streams. Oh, Steve. And Control V for paste. V doesn't mean paste, but we'll pretend like it does. All right, so this one's supposed to go to the left. Let's move him to the left. Check in on our stuff. Let me slide to the right. Break the tangents. Long is slow. Short is fast. There we go. And last one. Pop a keyframe down for them too. Paste on the last one. Oop. Oop, oh, oop. Heading straight over to the graph editor, and he's going down. Copy pasta. Wait, pasta? And I keep missing them because of meetings. Oh no! Well, it's good that there's the rerun. Got long is slow, short is fast, and let's take a little look at what we've got here. Oh, we could totally move Mr. Keyframe off the map. Let me push him to the left. I'm not going to worry about how he's leaving for now. Oh, I do want him to wait. Oh, she said she doesn't mind. It was a lie, apparently. There we go. Okay. So now Mr. Keyframe gets sucked up, gets sucked to the left, slides to the bottom, slides to the left, slides up top, slides back to the left, and then eventually slides down and off the map. I'm lagging a little? I don't know. Storm, you might need to check for me if anything going on in the house that I need to be aware of. Hopefully, we didn't really do anything new. I'm so sorry about the bits of lag. I don't know what the thing's about. Are we back? You're saying we're back. Thankfully, we didn't do anything new. We're just watching now. Good now? I'm so sorry. I don't know what it is today. What a journey. Yes, Alana. And now that what we've learned in the mini game number 1, no, it's just a glitch in the system. Okay. What we've learned in this first mini game is what we're going to be doing for all of them. So now you actually know timing and spacing. Amazing. Now we're just going to be doing practice. Hold on. Laura just went, hello, designers. Hi. Okie dokie. We're done with this one, right? So, number 2. The proposal. We've got 2 people getting proposed to. Well, one's proposing, the other one's sticking the ring on. In this one, we're going to use our newfound knowledge of accelerating and decelerating. And I'm also going to teach you something new. A little bit of trickery, a little bit of magic. If you haven't got the files already to go along with our mini game, please check down below. Waze just pop the link down for us once more. There we go. Okay, making sure we can see everything. Mr. Keyframe ring. Oh yeah. They're gonna be dotted around everywhere, so that's our Easter egg. Okay. Okay, so when you open minigame number 2, the proposal, you might notice that there are 2 rings. We've got Move Me, which is the hand that we're working on. And if we just drag the indicator, you'll notice that the ring kind of snaps to the finger. This is because that's where I wanted the ring to stay. Because when we're going to put the ring on, we have to move our hand back. When people get proposed to, the proposee doesn't just put the ring on and just stay there. They had to go. So that's what we're going to do. We don't need the second ring. So we're going to delete it. Wherever you want to put the ring on that finger is where that ring is going to stay. So I'm going to drag out this bottom one a little bit longer to make it stay with it. And let's go to position. Now, basically, this is the same as minigame 1, except for it's up to you to choose your own timing and spacing. Does this person just whoosh, whip the ring on really quickly? Or do they take their time and then back away really fast? Completely up to you. It's not like ring toss. I mean, we could totally toss the ring, but I don't know if the person would accept it. I don't think I would. How are they gonna, that's like a really hard carnival mini game, and then at the end of the day, like, I mean, it'll be a great prize, but then that also doesn't seem correct. So I've stuck my keyframe here to start. I think we don't need to separate yet. Let's do the fundamental movement first, and then we can move it after. What is that game? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, let's drag it to the left. And how I've set up the files, wherever you stick it, as long as it's near the ring finger, it's gonna look like the ring is actually going on the finger. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think I want the ring to be about there. So if we go back and press play, the ring goes on. I'm gonna drag out my bottom layer so the ring stays all the time. The ring goes on, which is great, but we need the hand to go. So what I'm going to do is copy this last keyframe and paste it. Now, in the first one, we did learn about toggle holds. You can absolutely use it, or you can use my kind of lazier method, which is copy and paste. And as long as it doesn't wobble, we're good. What is this cornhole? What? I don't know about that. I'm not sure. Seems a little, you know, after the watershed kind of convo to me, Alana and Steve, but all right. So this means that the ring or the hand is going to stay here because we pasted the exact same keyframe. And I want the hand to go, but I'm going to make the hand go back to where it was. So to do that, let's copy the keyframe we started with and let's paste it. If we press play, the hand goes on, the ring goes on, hand goes back. Awesome. Let's first make the ring stay where we put it. So I'm going to hold shift and drag to the keyframe where the ring is on the finger. I've seen families play this game. Steve, I don't know if, I don't know what to say. Like, it doesn't seem correct, Steve, but okay. So we're where we want the ring to stay on. What I'm going to do is split this layer. So we're going to hold Control, we're going to hold Shift, and we're going to press D. That split our file in two. Awesome. But the ring still followed. That's because it's still a child of the parent, and this parent is the hand. So on the right, it's okay if your one doesn't look like mine fully at the bottom. Either way, you'll still be able to see the parent and link channel. On the ring that you want to stay, correct or fun is the question. I mean, Steve. By the parent and link section, where it says move me on the second ring, select none. So now, when the hand moves back, it's not going to move back with our proposee. So that way it goes and it looks like it stays. Magic, huh? We're magicians. We're part of the magician's secret circle. Look at us. Wow. Stoney said, we always called it a beanbag toss. I'd never heard that name until 5 years ago. Really? See, I'm learning new stuff now as it is. All right, so we put the ring on and we move the hand back. But we need to add a speed up and a slow down when you're animating different things that humans have done. I say humans or other animals because only a robot is able to move the way this hand is moving without any slow in or slow out. You can try and practice it in real life because as you move, you'll notice when you move slow and move fast, or if you look up videos of what you're trying to do, see if it accelerates, decelerates, and when and where. That's what we're going to do now. Stoney said it's just very funny when a person calls it that, but has no idea. Yeah, that was me, Stoney. No takesy backsies? I mean, exactly. No. The ring's on there now. Magical. I need like confetti. All right. So I think we could play around with this. I'm interested to see what your ones will look like. We can either whip that ring on quick or slow it out. I think I'm going to make the hand move fast and then slow when we get to the finger. Then normally all it's like, oh, there you go, beautiful. That's what we're gonna do. Drebin, welcome. We're getting married. That's not my hand. Don't worry, I don't have the pink nails. It's not me, I promise. All right, let me click the graph editor. But we can't control the graph separately. Do you remember what to do? This is our Dora the Explorer moment. Do you remember what to do? How do we separate the graph? That's right! We right-click position and click separate dimensions. Perfect! Now the only thing we're moving is the X. Separate. There you go, Uma! Yes! Yes, Uma. So we haven't moved the Y at all. If we want, we could totally turn off the stopwatch on the Y because we're not using it. So here we go. With the X, let me break the tangent. Now we know that to make things move slow, that's what? Long. To make things move fast, it's short. Ace, hi Ace, what a time for you to appear. So I think I want it to move fast. That means where I want the hand to move slow, it has to be longer. So let me make this bit long. I'm gonna hold shift so it doesn't wobble. I'm gonna make this bit a bit shorter. Let's test it and see what we get. Oh, okay. The hand went on. Boom. That was a quick look. That person knew for sure that this was gonna happen. But what about if we wanted it slow? We can actually mix and match. So I'm gonna drag this one out a little bit so it's not too fast. Hey, there we go. So because I've got a slightly longer line, it moves slow until the turning point. Thank you for all of those that want to join in. You've just seen it now. The project file has just been added down below, so you can join in on the mini game fun too. So now what I've gotten is a bit of a woo. We've got a little bit of a wave going, because a long line means slow movement, a short line means fast movement, and we're mixing and matching it up. Cool. I like that. And I think a slow hand move away is what I want. So I'm going to break the tangents on both sides again. I'll see what it naturally gives me. That seems quite nice. So both of the tangents, if we zoom in by holding Alt, or if you're not a fan of the shortcuts, in the bottom left there's a zoom icon. We can click and drag that too. Just make sure that your indicator is where you want the zooming to happen. When it is, it zooms to where your indicator is. Is that Mugen's hand? Okay, so first of all, Ace, we don't need to be talking about maybe. So the curves are actually even. And because they're even, there's a slow in and a slow out. Must be to put them together again until the next time. What are you two talking about? Here's a sonic screwdriver. What are you guys talking about? I want to know. This one seems kind of simple, doesn't it? So we've got the hand putting on the ring on the other hand with a nice speed in and slow down. I think after you did the first mini game, you've realized that, oh, all of these are exactly the same. And they are. The idea or the ability to speed up, slow down, all that jazz is the same as the first one. It just depends on what you want to speed up, what you want to slow down. Doesn't need to be instant. Now you're able to play around with it and the graph editor is not so scary. This is moving along super duper fast. So let's look at number 3. If you have any questions, let me know. 3, push. Mr. Keyframe and Miss Bezier on like a little turnstile kind of thing. So when we hit one of them, the other one pops out. And I think we need to keep trying to push them back in, but they just want to come out to play. So if you're done with the second one, make sure you open mini game number 3. Now, I'm pretty sure that I left certain things open. Troublemakers, the both of them. Penny, did you just say little whippersnapper? Okay, let me save this. If once you've opened the third mini game, you don't see what I'm seeing, scroll down to the bottom and make sure you click on Mr. Key on top. Press the P key to see the position. This lets us know when the timing happens because I've already made the move. So their movement is kind of our timing for the hand. The same for Miss Bezier, that's Miss Bez B. Make sure we press P so we can see the timing. Great. What we're moving is this hand right here with the really long arm. The long arm, that's us. That's us right there. If we press the space bar or just drag along with your indicator, we'll see when Miss Bezier and Mr. Keyframe pop out. So we know that we need the hand to push them in when they go in. That way it's going to look like we're actually interacting with them. So there's nothing to do here. But if we take a look at the bottom, we can see this keyframe means that Mr. Keyframe disappears. So around here, the hand should be pushing them back in. Now, when we start these, we don't normally split the dimensions in the beginning. It's kind of easier to work with the standard and then break it after you've got things where you want them to be. So I'm going to move maybe about here. Click the stopwatch for position. If you don't have the position open on your layer, position starts with P. So tap P on your keyboard for position. Alrighty. I'm I'm gonna move over a tiny bit. Who's the hand belong to? I don't know. It's a great question, Wade. And let me drag this hand over. I'm just clicking and dragging because Mr. Keyframes up and to the right, we kind of have to move in both areas. If we separated the dimensions, this would be a little bit more finicky to deal with, but because we've kept the dimensions together, that won't be a problem for us. So there we go. I'm going to stick the hand here. Let's claim that this is where we want it to be. And because the keyframes are close together, it means it's moving fast. We can change this later. I think I'm okay with that. Wait, chat, you know what to do? We need names. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, are you saying that chat gets to pick who the people are? Every time we make a person, chat has to name? Adobe names people. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Who does this hand belong to? Who does the other hand belong to? Okay. So we've got the hand to push Mr. Keyframe away. But, I mean, you can leave the hand there. Wait, I don't think I can even say the second one, Steve. Mary Jane! Hold on, is this Mary Jane? I'm writing that down. I can't say the second one, Steve. I can't say it. Steve, say that out loud first. And then tell me if I can say it. I can't do it. Nope. Okie dokie, we want the hand to go back. I'm gonna have the hand hold here so we can hold the way that we learned the first time, or we can do it my lazy way, which is copy and paste the last keyframe. And I want to copy the first keyframe because then the hand will go back to where we want it to go. There we go. And now we do the same. Is one of Wade's creatures? I can't. It sounds too close to something else. I want to hear Wade say it. Should we just have like a sound bite? Which Mary Jane are we talking about? Drebin? What do you mean? Mingo. Mingo. Okay, I was going to say. So this keyframe here is to stop the hand from moving. And I want this hand to be there. Oh, that one's kind of straight on, that one. Cool. I think the hand movement might be too fast, so let's drag this keyframe over a little bit. We can, oh, maybe it's, there we go. We weren't really in line. There we go, that's slightly better. If we press the space bar, we can see what we've got without adding any extra movement to it. It's cool, but we can do more. We can absolutely do more. And his blushing brides. Okay, is this on Wade's Behance? Because I need to see this. All right, we want to make it more interesting, which is by doing separate dimensions. And we do that by right-clicking, separate dimensions, and let's slide in. Now this time, we've got the X and the Y. They both move at separate times, technically. They both do a different position, unlike before, where only one was moving. So what we're going to do now is click and drag on the first frame of the X and the Y, and let's do the easy ease out so we can move the tangent. Steve, did you name yourself that? And we're going to do the same on the end half. Let's break those tangents. There we go. So now when we move, we're going to move both of them together. That way it's going to be a little bit more consistent, because otherwise you'll have the forward motion moving at a separate time to the upward motion, and it might not give you the result you're looking for. Alrighty. So I'm not sure. Let's see. If we practice this, when we go to smack something, it seems like we wind up. So we tend to move slow first and then hit it quick. So that means we need to go slow. Slow is long. So let me just drag this over. Let's take a look. We've got a slow, but don't forget, because the frames are close together, the action is happening faster. Stoney said, uh-oh, Steve, do I need garlic or something? No, we need the spray. We need the spray gun of holy water. That's what we need. We're going to click the last two and we're going to drag them. Now, in this case, normally we would drag up and down the tangent, but when we're holding both together, it doesn't seem to work in the same way. So what we're going to do instead is click the tangent, make sure both are selected, and we're going to hold shift and drag back in towards itself. So now that means the end keyframe is going to happen snappier because it's short, and short is fast. Let's take a look. There we go. Now, if we want to see this in a little bit more effect, we're going to select the first keyframe and drag it out. So now we have more time to see what's happening. Let's keep going till we get what we want. I'm going to grab these separately now because I think I want this, as long as it doesn't change it in an awkward way, I want this a little bit longer than a little bit snappier. See you later, Michelle. Thank you so much for jumping in. Lovely. There we go. So now we've got a slow in and then boom, straight to the side. Boop. And we've got a really casual movement out, but it's a little bit jerky because the line isn't straight here. If we had the straight line, that's the linear. That's when it kind of moves like a robot. But once we slap something, or you could try clapping, after you've clapped, your hand tends to smooth itself out. So let's select these keyframes, break the tangent again, and we want it to move slow out. The reason why it's moving fast is because the curve here is short and short is fast. So let us also open these ones, have a nice little curve to both. And I'm going to drag it out because I want a different feel than what I've got. So this is what I'm talking about. Oh, wait. I'm so sorry for this. This is such a good, I feel like this is such a fun one as well. I'm so sorry. And we're back. Maybe I need to be like, okay, everybody, turn your computers off. We'll make sure that this is not a problem for the next one. Thank you, Uma, for letting me know. Thank you, wait, I'm so sorry. You didn't miss much. All I did was change the feel of the animation by clicking and dragging the last keyframes and dragging them out. That gives it more time to move slowly away. Nice. So now it looks like a really slow backing off. All right, let me drag over here because I'm pretty sure my head's going to block this. And this one's only the X this time. So I'm going to only show the X just so it's nice and clean. I want a slow in, so we need to make this long because long is slow. Nice. Oh, we forgot to bring the hand back. Let's grab a keyframe that was once back. You'll eventually get used to looking at the graph editor, but until you're ready, you can totally go back to the normal view and copy that keyframe. This exercise will probably take me a while, but that's okay. Oh yes! Allow yourself to get the feel for it. And when you're not sure, return back to the first mini game because this is still using the first mini game's tools and techniques. And I'm just going to paste straight away. I don't even have a hold. There's a reason for this. This is because we can make a fake hold or a more natural hold with our tangent. So remember, long is slow, fast is short. So I'm going to grab this new one we've just made, break it again. Ooh, let's make sure it's on the same line. There we go. And I want the end to also be slow. So I'm going to drag it out so we can actually see a longer line. There we go. So now we've got the hand going to the side. But the only problem is our curve doesn't allow the hand to reach Miss Bezier at the right time. To fix this, we'll select that keyframe again, break the tangent to the side, and make it happen sooner. There we go. Now we've got a slap and a boop. Good job. We've got 2 more to do. We're almost done. Number 4. Number 4 is Seesaw. It's much easier than it looks, I promise you. Miss Bezier and Mr. Keyframe went to the park. She might have forced him to jump on the seesaw, but they're happy now. So, your timing is the seesaw. The seesaw will automatically move for you. That lets us know who's supposed to move when. It's best to do one at a time to start, so I'm going to do Mr. Keyframe first. He doesn't go up until his side pushes him up, but he goes up around here. So let me put my position down. And by this point, it looks like he should be up in the air, so let's raise him up. It seems like he might stay there for a bit, and then he comes back down. So let me copy the first keyframe and paste. So if we take a look, he goes up, he comes down. Nice. Let's add a little bit more to this. Does he go up slowly or does he come down slowly? I think he probably goes up fast. So we're going to do what? Separate the dimensions. And it's Y that we're using. We're not using X at all, actually. So I'm going to turn off the stopwatch because we don't need to see any of the red lines right now. So he goes up quickly. Let's break the tangents. So now he goes up, but he's moving before the seesaw. So I'm just going to click and drag this over. So the seesaw moves a little bit before him. Don't worry, the human eye is going to fix it for us. Nice effects. Thank you, Steve. So now, Mr. Keyframe goes up. We're digging it. And then he goes back down. What I think I'm going to do is drag this keyframe over. And we're going to break the tangents again because we want him to come down slow. Slow is long. So let's make this long. Let's break this one as well to make it a little bit shorter because short is fast, long is slow. There we go. So now it looks like Mr. Keyframe's chucked up in the air and comes back down. If I want that slow to look a little bit slower, just space the keyframes out a little bit. And now he's got a little wah, wah. Stoney said, I'm glad to see you work in the graph. I don't think I've seen too many people showing that. Well, the graph is such a powerful thingamaboopy, you know? And now that the fair has been taken out of the graph, there's going to be so much more we can do with it and so many more places we can take our animation now. So thank you so much for saying that, Stoney. And you guessed it, we're doing the same to Miss Bezier. So let me go back. Let me check when Miss Bezier is supposed to move. Let's go to Miss Bezier's line and click position. Apparently I've already got it open. Wait, Wade said absolutely. This is where all the nuance comes from. Yes. So it's only the Y that we need. Oh, let's start from the start, shall we? Let me get rid of this one. Miss Bezier is already up and then she comes down here. Let's move the position down. I'm gonna hold it for a second and then have her come back up. Okay, so she also needs to react in the same way. So she goes up fast, comes down slow. Doesn't he need to squash down a little? Now, PJ, yes, but that's a lesson for another day. Ah, we're doing it in steps. It hits the ground fast. And we can move these over. More buffering. More buffering. Bit of lag. Thank you. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm so sorry about that. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. We did the exact same thing, but in reverse. We've just made sure that Miss Bezier moves slightly after the time. And yes, what I was saying and what, hold on, let me slide up. What PJ was saying is correct, but that is another lesson. That's the lesson that we'll have in 2 weeks' time. We've got 3 minutes for the last one. 5. The last one is samurai. So for samurai, there is a time. The time is the glint on the sword. So all you have to do is pull out the sword when you want the sword to be pulled out. You can pick your own timing and spacing for this one. So I put my keyframe down. I'm going to drag over a little bit and drag the sword out. Yeah, that's right. Light reflection. You can pull out the sword as far or as close as you like. But to catch up on time, I'm going to allow you lot to try to work out how to do this one on your own. Ooh, that's right. That's right. I'm going to keep it like this. Don't worry. I'm going to upload what my final one looks like. But remember, the last one is what you do and how you put it all together. Steve said, love this. Wait said, oh. We're getting a little bit more detailed now. But this means this is the conclusion. So your homework is to complete the minigame homework, of course. Use spacing on the lesson 1 minigames. Don't worry if you didn't have the files before, because you've downloaded today's lesson files. You actually do have lesson 1 minigames in a folder just at the top. After that, try spacing on one project of your own. Now this could be anything, but by you doing this will let yourself know that you actually know the fundamentals of timing and spacing. Stony said, I think this is a great way to learn this program. Thank you, Pixie. Oh, Stony, thank you so much. I'm really glad you're enjoying this. Penny said, learning so much. Thank you, Penny. Tiny Storm and a Komodo, that's true. It's me and Pix. Wait, I'm Pix. It's me and Storm. Tara said, this was brilliant. Thank you, Pixie. Alana, thank you for coming, lovely. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, you can tag Pixipui and Adobe Live. I'll see you later. Bye.